I thought it was a good game. That's a good football team, and that Bruce has got, and they ton of talent, and they've got Tom Brady. So I mean, that says it all when you look at that. But I was proud of our guys for stepping up, in particular after an emotional game like the Raider game. You got to be able to do these things, and I thought that was a step forward by our guys. I mean, I can go through and critique it, but there's some things we can get better at. But it was a heck of a performance, I thought, by our guys. Anyways, well, that time's yours.
Let's go first to Sam Ellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, I wanted to ask you about a couple situational decisions that you had. The 4th and goal early in the game in the first quarter, and then throwing it late when you could have just burned clock. I mean, at least superficially, right? Like one of those is aggressive, one is conservative. I'm just wondering if you could let us in on your thinking a little bit. How much of that is, Mike Frazier and those numbers, and how much is just gut and what you're seeing from the game?
Yeah, so that one I just felt like I wanted points coming out of that, and I know they're tough in the red zone, and I just points were important there, especially early, and then the last one was I've learned a long time ago you don't give Tom Brady another shot, so that's why he's the GOAT, right? So don't give him the ball back, and that was the mindset there, and so we got Pat on the move, and we sealed the edge, did a nice job there, and then man coverage with Tyreek and Sam, and they beat it up there, so they did a nice job.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Andy, I'm just wondering, from the end of last year, right, when you do the player exit interviews, what was that conversation like with Tyreek on where you thought he could get better, and how much of that was on display today given his historic performance?
Well, yeah, you just said it. So, I mean, it's hard to criticize history when it's positive. And he sure did a nice job today, and to where they doubled him. They doubled both he and Kels at times, both of them being doubled in the same play. So, listen, it's a tribute to him and the hard work that he's put in, and just becoming a better overall receiver. So he was already good, and then he's taken it to that next level. And he's still got a season left here. He's got to keep rolling and getting more opportunities to even be better than he was tonight. But he sure did a nice job, and it was good to get Sammy back through this game. I thought that was important for us as we rolled and keep all those guys healthy.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam. Oh, sorry, I think Adam put his hand down here. Let's go to Dave Scrutta.
Andy, you talked about obviously some of the things that they need to get better at, and one of them, I'm sure, is penalties. It's 10 in 2 straight weeks. I know you can say we have to get better, but how do you do that? How do you get better in that area?
Well, it was later in the game. So is it because you're trying to make a play, you're grabbing a little cloth on the offensive line? I mean, those were big plays that we took back off and went backwards on. So do we need to move our feet more? Do we, whatever it might be, we'll go through and analyze those and make sure that the guys learn from them and get better. I don't think it's an effort problem at all. I mean, it's probably too much of an effort. And so when you need to back guys down on that, then that's a good thing. And then I think, with 55 hitting the quarterback there, I'm glad he was getting there. And I question. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the first one sure didn't look like it wasn't but a scrape. And so I'm just glad he's working like crazy to get home and get to the quarterback, and we'll clean up the other part.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, regarding Tyreek's big day, was it just a case of you guys finding a matchup you really liked there, that one-on-one matchup, or was there more that went into that tonight?
Well, I mean, we feel like he's a pretty good matchup anywhere. I mean, with anybody. So he's strong and quick and fast, and he can catch. So the quarterback trusts him. Now, I'm not going to tell you they were banged up a little bit at the corner position, so I'm not sure that helped Bruce at all. But I mean, listen, I would put him against anybody. I mean, he's been doing this all year.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. With Tyreek Hill, how have you seen day to day maybe the dissatisfaction of just being first a running back, then a returner, now a receiver, pay off to being able to have a day like this where he's beating coverage, high pointing, so on and so forth, and really become this receiver in the NFL?
I see how hard he works, so I'm very excited for him learning the position. So that goes from how do you handle your body for a long season, try to limit the injuries, the little small injuries, or be able to fight through the smaller ones. And and then how do you get your quarterback the trust early in the week to know that you're going to be there for him? And so there's a certain mentality that goes with that, and it takes a tremendous amount of toughness to do that. I think really that's probably where he's gotten better at. Just not that he wasn't always tough. I'm not saying that, but it's a long season, and this kid runs miles. He's like a midfielder in soccer. I mean, he's running all over the place, and we have him in a lot of different spots, and that can wear on you. And he's just stayed strong in that area. And I mean, when he goes out to practice, he goes out with a purpose, and good things are happening for him.
We'll go right down the list with our final three: Aaron, Matt, and then Blair. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach, I have a feeling Travis is going to be asking you for another shot at the end zone there. It seemed like he couldn't connect with that. How'd that will come up?
Son of a gun. That's why they moved him tight end at Cincinnati. Son of a gun. Yeah, now listen, that was we probably should have scored there. 24 did a nice job on that play, though. I mean, anyways, yeah, we'll get the next one.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, you on your 6 of your first 7 drives, you were in the red zone, in the scoring zone, the fumble being really the only, breakdown there. Is there, a grading on a curve that you have to, tell yourself that, you walk out of this game and the offense is that efficient, but then, you go 3 drives without a touchdown and all of a sudden fans and maybe outsiders are like, oh, well, there's problems. But yet at the same time, this team seems to be getting it done when it needs to.
Yeah, well, listen, you're playing against a good football team with good players. I mean, the NFL, the parity in this league is ridiculous right now. So, every week you got to be ready to go. And some drives aren't going to be an absolute score. We're going to try to score on every drive, but it doesn't always happen that way. So you figure out. That's why we coach and we go back and we study the tape and say, how can we do it better the next time? What do we need to do to fix whatever problems there are and get better? And then we ask the players to do the same thing. But heck, we want to score you're right. We want to score every drive. It just sometimes that other team plays pretty good on those drives.
Go last to Blair Kirchhoff. Good, Blair.
Hey, Andy, just wanted to get a word on the defense. They had some 3-and-outs early, had the 2 interceptions in the third quarter, and just seemed like they were motivated this week.
I thought the defense did a great job. The second half, man, just putting it down, the 2 picks or 2 turnovers and an opportunity for us to offensively take over and go. And the offense, we weren't able to get that thing going. But we keep playing like that on defense, being opportunistic, pressuring the quarterback, moving his feet. You don't have to hit him all the way, but you get him moving in the pocket, and that can be just as effective as a sack. So, and that's what we did. I mean, that's a great player, and they've got a good offensive line and good receivers. I mean, that skill group that they have is ridiculous. So, for our defense for us to do what we did there, I thought was big.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir, Travis. Yep.
Oh, yo, Brad G, can you hear me good?
I can hear you. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll start first with Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, career game for you. Congrats on the win. Just take us through your mindset when you're on the sideline making that phone call.
You know what? I actually saw that on NFL a few days back with the whole Shannon Sharp thing. I believe those guys were playing the Patriots, and I thought it was like seriously the funniest thing I've ever heard. You know, and Shannon, he's from the South too. You know, so you know I was like, yeah, hey, I gotta show love to my guy Shannon Sharp. You know, with the help is on the way. That was hilarious, most hilarious thing ever.
Go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Tyreek, congrats on the win. I have two things. First of all, Andy said something about you earning Pat's trust early on in the week each week. How much do you think that that's your intention when you start out a practice week? It's like, let me make sure that Pat knows I'm going to be open.
You know what? Each and every week, you know, I try to go out, you know, and be. I mean, each and every week, I try to set the mindset of working hard for this team and, you know, giving my all, you know, because I mean, that's just the way my mom raised me, you know. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm hurt, if I'm gimpy, limpy, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go out and you know try to get the trust of the QB, you know. So it may be a few plays I may feel sorry for myself, but best believe, you know, I'm gonna come back right back the next play and give Pat 110, and he knows that, you know. So I'm gonna continue to do that, and I'm gonna continue to like push the other guys to do it, you know, because they do it too. You know, it's not only me, it's McCole, it's Sammy, it's D-Rob, it's Kelsey. You know, those guys are also working hard in practice too, you know. But I just felt.
And then secondly, you now, and you may not know this, you now are over 1,000 yards for the season. You lead the NFL in receiving yards. When I say something like that, what does that mean to you in the course of a season?
It feels good, you know, but I feel like there's still a lot of work for me to do. You know, I missed a few plays today, you know, that I could have made, you know. The one Pat threw to me on the wheel, I could have made that play, you know. So I'm always looking to get better. You know, a lot of people, you know, may text me. A lot of people may, you know, give me the glory, give me the shine, but I'm not about that, you know. Keith Dub, the guy I trained with in Nebraska, he always tell me, man, look, you got to be consistent in what you do. You know, those same people who were showing you love this week, if you make a bad play the next week, they're going to hate you. You know, so I'm just trying to keep that mindset, you know, just working hard for this team and just, you know, just working hard for myself because I want to be the best receiver in the game. So I'm going to continue to work hard.
Next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Tyreek, with the way you've been successful in the underneath stuff this year, with the way teams have defended you over the top, how much do you think that opens up things over the top? Because now you've shown yourself as such a complete receiver on the other stuff.
I don't know. I just feel like teams just go out there and play for it. I just feel like teams don't just game plan for me. You know, I don't look into all that. I just go out and play. So.
Next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyreek, was wondering whether you were surprised to see so much single coverage, at least early in the game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a return straight. I'm going to see a lot of single coverage, you know, throughout the whole game, you know. But today was fun. Today was great. You know, today was competitive for me. But Carlton Davis is definitely a good player. I've said that numerous of times. So, I mean, I've watched film of him throughout the whole season. He's been a baller, you know, so. I was just real excited for the matchup, you know.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tyreek, I'm just interested, when you know that you're running a double route, a double move, just one, how much does that excite you when you know where you are on the certain side of the field? And then what makes you so successful on those double routes?
I think the thing that I think about most, like on the first deep touchdown, the out and up, I was thinking about how far of a run that I had. I was like, you know what? I feel like Pat is going to throw this ball about 70 yards, so I'm going to have to really stretch out here. Like, that's the only thing that I be thinking about. I don't think about nothing. I just be like, man, I'm really going to be tired after this play, you know, because if I don't catch it, G-Lou gonna leave. G-Lou and Coach Reid and EB, they're gonna be like, stay in. And then if I do catch it, I gotta run full speed to the end zone. So I just be thinking about how tired I'm gonna be, you know.
Got time for one more, guys. We'll go last to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Lebo.
Hey, Tyreek, the big day, obviously, and all the touchdowns are fun, but maybe the biggest play might have been the one at the end to ice it. Just take me through the thoughts that you guys all had in that little 4-minute offense to try to know that you didn't want Tampa to get the ball back and how important it was and how big that play was.
Well, that's something that Eric Bieniemy preaches each and every week. We work situational football on Fridays. So we were able to sneak that play in. It's like a mini comeback from the inside. With Sammy rubbing, my guy. Because it was man to man, and I was able to win. So I mean, like I said, I may get all the glory, I may get all the shine, but Sammy really made that play happen. He made my guy loop over the top, and I was just able to come back for the comeback. Pat threw an amazing throw. I caught it, so got the first game over.
Tyreek, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Tyrann Mathieu coming up next. Okay, guys. Hey, Tyrann, you ready for us?
Yeah.
All right, let's start first with Blair Kirkhoff. Go ahead, Blair.
Hey, Tyron, we didn't get to talk to defensive players much after the Raiders game, and I'm just wondering how much improvement do you think you guys made from last week to this week, and how did it show tonight?
Well, I think, to begin, I think the most important thing is just focusing on each other. Opponents are going to throw, each and everything at us. Sometimes, we've been able to handle it. Other times we haven't. I think this week it was just all about trust. Trusting your teammates, trusting the guy next to you, trusting the communication, trusting the play call. And I thought, for the most part of the game, I thought we was able to do that. I thought we were out there trusting each other, believing in the play call. And I think that kind of showed tonight. Obviously, playing against Tom Brady, he's going to make his plays. But I thought at the end of the day, I thought we held up well. And we forgot about last week. We moved on. And I thought it served us well.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Tyron's, everybody got their opinion on what's different about Tom Brady now that he's in Tampa Bay. What do you see on film, and what did you see today that's different than what he showed in New England?
Well, I think, just playing against him in New England, trying to prepare for him, he was one of those guys that, he loved the quick rhythm, passing game. He loved to use his running backs in the passing game. I think now it's kind of different. I think he's kind of looking for the receivers. He's looking for those deep balls. But I think, at the end of the day, he's Tom Brady. He made a lot of great plays tonight. And I thought he found a way to get his team back in the football game.
Let's go last three right down the line, starting with Pete Sweeney. Good, Pete.
Congrats, Tyron, on the win. How important do you think it was for you guys to make sure that Tom felt pressured, and how did you feel you did with that? And then what did you see specifically on your interception?
Well, I think that's just, our identity. I think that's when we play the best. I do think we're capable of dropping 8 and, keeping everything in front of us. But I think at the end of the day, we're all about pressure. We're all about playing cover 0, trying to find a way to get, our big guys in one-on-one matchups, trying to surprise the offense with, cornerbacks or safeties blitzing off the edge. And I thought we were able to do that early on in the game and really get his attention early on.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyron, just wanted to get your thoughts on there was a lot going on for you defensively tonight, between a lot of 3-and-outs early to a couple picks in the third quarter and then a couple touchdown drives late. Just kind of wanted, in a general sense, how do you feel how you guys did tonight?
I felt like we played well. It's always tough to go on the road and, play against a quality team. Not just any quality team. These guys got weapons all over the place, Hall of Famers all over the place. I thought we did a great job early on, just playing our style of football. Obviously it's a few drives, we want back. Kind of went to sleep on Gronkowski a little bit tonight, which, he made the plays that came to him. But I'm just proud of my guys. I'm proud of the way we bounced back. I'm proud of the way we really tuned out all the noise this week. Obviously coming off the Raiders game, there was a lot of opinions about us. I thought we just, we forgot about that. Like I mentioned earlier, it was all about us, all about the team. And then just getting back to playing the kind of ball we want to play, aggressive, trying our best to create turnovers.
Let's go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
I know in the past you mentioned that one of your favorite things to do on the field is blitz, to be a part of that pressure. Back there again today, similar to the first interception with obviously Watson, just how much of that is necessary for you to get into a rhythm, and how much of that was discussed between maybe you and Dave Merritt or Steve Spagnuolo about getting you in the backfield to some degree moving forward?
Well, I've never really been one of those players to kind of, tell a coach what I want to do. I always do what my coaches ask me to do. But obviously, blitzing is something that I love to do. If I could blitz on the first play of every game, I think I can get into a much quicker rhythm defensively. But, I'm not the play caller. I believe in my coaches. I believe what they see. And I think that's really the position you have to take, as a player. You just have to trust that your coaches, are seeing the right things. And for me, it's all about just playing the call that, Spags call. And, for me, it's all about blitzing with my hair on fire. And I was joking with the guys, if I was 6'1", maybe that would have been a forced fumble. But, I'm 5'9", I couldn't really get my arm to the ball. But either way it goes, great play by Breland. And that's the kind of plays we want to make.
Tyron, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we've got Patrick coming up to the podium now. There he is. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Howard.
Good. We will start first with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick. Tyreek's big game today. Just a question of you guys taking advantage of a matchup that you like there, or is there more to it than that? And Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up as well.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily a matchup, but it was man coverage with no one over the top, and so we don't get that a lot, especially with that guy and his ability. And whenever we do, we try to take advantage of it.
Okay, and you've thrown a lot of touchdown passes. Obviously, you've scored a few yourself. You almost caught one today. How disappointed are you? You didn't get your first TD catch, and what was the name of that play, by the way?
God, man. Well, me and Travis made it up first off, and we called it Black Pearl because we're bringing it to the Bucs and the Pirates of the Caribbean and everything like that. And I talked him into it. Coach Reid for sure told him if he can run it first. But I just kind of talked to him on the side and was like, if I'm open, man, just throw it to me. So I think that little hesitation that he had was just because I had talked to him too much about it.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Patrick, when you look at obviously the pre-snap and what, like you mentioned, just getting that single high safety, just how much does it still surprise you when you know 10's out there? And my second part of this is how much, Tyreek mentioned Sammy today as being a part of his success. Just how much was that a part of the offense really clicking in the first half, having Sammy back?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sammy being able to work the middle of the field, even when he's not getting the ball, he's getting other guys open. And then as well as at the beginning of that game, they were, instead of that safety going over the top of Tyreek, they were going over the top of Travis. And I mean, that's just the problem that defenses have when they go against us. We have so many good weapons. It's hard to try to take away one guy when we can go to the other guys. And so this week it was Tyreek's week, but I'm sure other guys will make big plays the rest of the season.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, I know you want to throw it every down, right? But at the end there, those last two plays, a lot of teams would have just run the ball, right, to melt some clock. What is your mind like in those situations, just sort of risk-reward balance when you know you got to keep the clock going?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a lot of trust Coach puts in me to make the right decision. You can see that I'm trying to get the ball in my hands quickly, get it to the guys, and let them make plays in space. And another thing, I mean, they have a really good defense, especially against the run, and so they're getting a lot of penetration up front. And I'm trying to get to our playmakers in space and let guys make plays.
Next is Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, you touched on this a little bit, but how much do you feel like Travis's success this season, but also Tyreek's success on the underneath stuff kind of opened up what you saw today up top?
Yeah, I think it's just taking what's there. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, you've seen how teams played us these last few weeks, and they're playing very far back. And we were able to find ways to move the ball down the field and score that way. And then this week, especially at the beginning of the game, they kind of came up and played tighter and played up close. And we were able to hit some shots downfield. And that's just the maturity of this offense as a whole, of knowing how to run their routes based off the coverages that they're getting, and then I try to get them the ball and let them make plays.
Let's go next to Darren Smith. Go, Darren.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just comes down to execution. I mean, we had the play with Travis designed and ran the way we wanted it to be ran, and we had the options and the availability that we wanted. And we've ran plays like that all year long. We're doing different motions and different type of stuff like that, and they've worked out. And when you play a good defense and you don't execute in the red zone and you get field goals instead of touchdowns, the game stays closer than you want it to be. And so that's just about execution and us just making sure that we execute whenever we get our opportunities. Man, I hope so. I mean, it was hot. It was definitely hot early when the sun was out. But once that sun went down, I felt like I was back in Texas, and it was pretty nice to get this weather. But just like that, I'm ready to get back to Kansas City and get a cold one this next week.
We'll go to Mike Jones for the last one. Go ahead, Mike.
Patrick, this is supposed to be kind of like billed as a potential Super Bowl preview. For you guys to come out and get the win like this, what does it do for your confidence, or just for if you guys see them again in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, you get a familiarity with the stadium, with the process of going to the hotel and the city, and that's definitely something that eases your mind when you try to get to the Super Bowl. If you know you've been in this place before and you understand what kind of the pregame and stuff like that happens, and then to beat a good football team. That's a really good football team with a lot of talented players, and so we played well enough to win. I still think there was times offensively we could have been better in the second half and in the red zone we talked about, and then defensively they're going to want to try to continue to get better and better each and every week, and that's a great thing about football and the NFL is you build and try to execute and be the best at the end of the season.
Patrick, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.